The Prime Minister to the Bahamas, Philip Davis, in Botswana for a 6-day official visit. Conservation of pristine natural resources identified as having the potential to unlock the tourism value chain in Kalahari North. And UB Rhinos are this year's Rugby Knockout Cup champions. We're broadcasting live from Gaborone, the capital. Good afternoon. Now, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Mr. Philip Davis, arrived in Botswana this morning for a 6-day official visit. Mr. Davis has an entourage which includes 3 ministers. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi and Prime Minister Davis will lead official talks and thereafter address a press conference this afternoon at 4:30 at the Mass Media Auditorium. Meanwhile, the High Commissioner of Botswana to the Bahamas, Mr. Kitso Mokaila, says Botswana intends to use the official visit to strengthen diplomatic ties between the two nations. Last year, Botswana and the Bahamas signed a memorandum of understanding on political cooperation.
We're looking at a number of shared interests, including education, which is my portfolio. We'll be looking at tourism, we'll be looking at energy and the economy, economic development, and a whole array of areas. It's also critical that these partners, the Bahamas and this country, that we embrace. Yet again, I'm told that there were 2 state visits. Previously, this is our first year to the Bahamas, from the Bahamas, and so we believe that the engendering of relationships is very important, particularly when you look at the dynamics globally, that partnerships and friendships are embraced all over the world, and of course, Botswana is one of those critical partners for the Bahamas.
Now, the chairperson for Shakawe Sub-Land Board, Mr. Rida Shuma, says the ongoing allocation of land is progressing well. Mr. Shuma said most of the successful applicants for land allocation are youth and stated that they have so far allocated 151 plots to the youth in Shakawe village since the 12th of March. Tumisang Kelatlilwe reports.
With Shakawe village being recognized as one of the fast developing villages in Botswana, the Sub-Land Board also contributes more to such developments through continued allocation of land to their residents. Some of the successful applicants are the youth who came in large numbers to receive their plots. They say they are ready to develop their newly allocated plots.
Today, I am the happiest person to ta go ba ke hile setsha. Ke sa gore le nna ke ta ipona ke le motho jaanong ke saletse hela ke gone gore ke tekiage. Ke bone gore le nna ke nna mo motse wa me.
Ke itumeletse gore ke hilwe setsha Botswana la ntse ke se emetse go dingwaga tse di kana la ke sa itse gore ke to dira mo sone mme ke ikaeletse go ta go dira sengwe la re sa itse gore ya no ngwe re to ngongora ke metse le go dionyana tse dingwe tse ka go khakalanyana la le gale ke target khaza tsa gormente tsa ba lephatala land board ba ta bona re ba re sekasekela ya metsi ura go roge ka kwano re nne boheu go o ka thoma be ke thaeletswe ka kwano botsadi.
The chairperson for Shakawe Sub-Land Board said they have a target to allocate 697 plots.
Ke itumella dipalo tsa banana ka gore go supa gore mo dipalong tse tsothe banana ba tsile ba le 151 re setse re ba hile ditsha mo go ba leng 193 ba re setseng re ba abetse mme ke batla gore ke teki supeana gore mo go bone hela dipalo tsa bagolo di 42 tse ile gore ke bone ba ile gore gongwe re setse re ba hile ditsha gompieno mme re na le bomme ba ile gore dipalo tsa bone di 69 ba ile gore setse re ba abetse ha bo re bone ba le 98.
Shakawe Sub-Land Board say they will continue to allocate plots in Shakawe until the 19th of March and will complete these allocations in Tsodilo village on the 20th, where 7 plots are expected to be allocated. Tumisang Kelatlilwe, BTV News, Shakawe.
Now, conservation of pristine natural resources can help unlock the potential of tourism value chain in Kalahari North. This was echoed by the Member of Parliament for Kalahari North, who is also the Assistant Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Ms. Talita Monnakgotla, at a ceremony to receive garbage bins from the organizers of the Macheng Bushfire Festival at Moselebe Pan in Hukunzi. Let's hear more with Baines Busiho.
Moselebe Pen in Hukunzi, once a sprawling lake attracting diverse wildlife. Over the years, it has been affected by climate change and now remains a dry salt pen. Nearby villages such as Make, Tsani, and Lihututu also boast of these magnificent pens. Ms. Monakotla says conserving these pens can help boost tourism in the area as tourists pass through en route from the Transfrontier Park to the Central Kalahari Game Reserve. Bothered by the impact litter has on the pens, the organizers of the Machem Bushfire Festival saw it fit to donate these garbage bins to promote safe environmental practices in the community.
Mabotlolo a kgona simolla melelo di plastic di jwa ke le ruwa and ke tsa gore a botsogo ba tla dumelana le nna gore ga ba siamela botsogo ba diphologolo le rona cause re jana madi. So ke solofela gore di dustbin tse ke le tsone le gore re di tsenye mo paneng yana ka go tsamelana ga teng.
While the village development committee has called for bylaws which will help protect natural resources in the area.
Le council gore e seka seke go dira melawana bylaws gore ha le hero le re batla go le dirisa to maximize the use ya le hero le.
The Machem Bushfire Festival is among the activities expected to boost tourism in the area, prompting Council Chairman Mr. Muratwa Lekolori to make an appeal to all government departments to ensure they support and collaborate with event organizers, as hundreds are expected to attend the show sometime in winter. Baines Busiro, BTV News, Moselebe Pen, Hukunzi.
Now, moving on with our stories, the role of the church goes beyond preaching the gospel, but also extending a hand of love to communities to bring solutions. This was said by the Seventh-day Adventist youth representative, Ms. Dudue Tsankaku, where close to 200 young people gathered in the main mall to donate blood. The country needs up to 45,000 units of blood. Therefore, such initiatives are said to be crucial. Kiletleletswe Somolekai has more.
An eventful day to praise God and equally drive the mandate to be ambassadors of change. All the SDA churches joined representatives from 12 different churches around the capital city to raise an awareness on the importance of blood donation, which they say fulfills the great command to preach the gospel of love to the ends of the world. The country needs up to 45,000 units of blood. Therefore, such an initiative is said to be crucial.
We brought all the churches in Gaborone and surrounding areas to come in Main Mall and donate blood. Why did we choose the blood drive? We chose the blood drive simply because we have a shortage of blood in Botswana. Many people are dying in hospital because of the shortage of blood. And so we felt that there's a need for us to actually stand up and be able to make a difference in regard to this situation.
Such a massive drive was highly commended, as it is a testament to the church taking up their role to impact communities.
Your tireless efforts are an inspiration to us all, and I am confident that your leadership will continue to drive positive change in our city and beyond.
Every year we strive to have 40,000 units of blood. We never make it. What it means basically is that how are beler abo bleeder. go tla bo go ile hela jalo, okay?
The public was enlightened more on scientific process of blood donation.
People seem to fear who donate. Maybe in some ways because they don't know what really happens. Again, harere haona blood. Kana madia ho amadinyan. Usuturu bona at least about 6 liters. Again, level in terms of volume. Halbo mantialo kana lebo 8 bo 9. Again, but yan hareke talk about what is it are you really donating? Again, so from those 6 liters, I need about the 500 mils. Let me take a good example here. Coke here, 450. That is the amount we donate.
The event was hosted under a theme, Show Up in the Cities, as a revolution of change by these young people. Somolekae, PTV News.
Now, a high-level delegation headed by the Minister of Environment and Tourism, Mr. Dumizweni Mthimkhulu, is in London, United Kingdom, to present Botswana's position on the British Parliament on the impact of the proposed ban on the importation of hunting trophies into the United Kingdom. The delegation comprises of Dikhosi, representatives of community-based natural resources management trusts, wildlife farmers associations, academics, senior government officials, and members of Parliament and private media teams. The team was met by Botswana High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Mr. Shimani Kelaotswe. Minister Mthimkhulu will address members of the British Parliament this afternoon. He's expected to highlight Botswana's concern over the impact of the proposed bill, which goes into second reading on Friday. Botswana's position is that the bill runs counter to conservation efforts as it will disincentivize communities affected by human-wildlife conflicts. That the bill also does not take into consideration the position of sites which recognizes strides made by Botswana and other Southern African countries which have successfully conserved their wildlife. Tomorrow, the delegation will give a public lecture at the University of Oxford. Minister Mthimkhulu will proceed to France and Germany on a similar position, and the two countries are considering a similar legislation. Moving on with our news, the chairman of Nata Conservation Trust, Mr. Dikgakgamatso Thabi, says they have managed to carry out a number of development projects from the proceeds of hunting wild animals, including the construction of CT5 campsite, which is used for private hunting. The trust is made up of Nata, Sepako, Matotaye, and Maposa villages. Mr. Thabi says they would like plans to ban the import of hunting trophies into the United Kingdom not to come to fruition, as it will reverse all the gains made to address human-wildlife conflict since the lifting of the hunting ban in Botswana in 2019. Bethany Mando has more.
These are some of the developments at Nata Conservation Trust, funded by the proceeds from hunting. And for the first time in 2021, the trust started to enjoy the benefits of coexisting with wild animals. As a call for the ban on the import of hunting trophies to the UK is gaining momentum, on the other hand, local communities are seeing positive improvements in their livelihoods and reduced human-wildlife conflict.
Before re nna le letsomo, re tshela ka di gate takings. Ha go te re na le madi mo trusting, re na le madi a ka tshwarang bo 150 to 200,000 pula. Mme gompieno sense re nna le letsomo, re na le partner re tshelang le ene yo e leng gore ke ene yo re pataganeletseng dikgang tsa rona tsa letsomo. Ka dikgang tsa letsomo re na le madi a ka tshwarang bo 4.3 million a e leng gore ko ona re dirang dithabollo ka ona, mme re kgonne ka one madi a letsomo le ko gating ya rona ha o tsena o ta kgona go bona re kgonne go aga a courier shop, re kgonne go thabolla di office tsa rona le mo metseng ya rona hela ya lo re gona le lenaneo le lengwe le leng gore le tswa mo mading a letsomo. Metse ya rona e 4 e leng Sepako, Manxota, Maposa le Nata. Ngwaga le ngwaga mo dikgang tsa letsomo re ba ha madi a kana ka 100,000. This year ba ha 100,000. The last year re ba ha 75,000 pula through their VDCs. We are going up. Ka re lebeletse gore re nna re ba ha madi ka kokeletso ya 25% ngwaga le ngwaga.
Nata Conservation Trust owns a private hunting concession known as CT5, which remained undeveloped for many years, but thanks to hunting, the camp has been successfully erected.
Ka gore re ne ra wina quota quota e re winneng ra hella re bata partner yo e leng gore ke ene wa agileng ha antse ya dirisana le rona wa agile kampae e le ya rona re le batho bana the conservation trust ke maduo a madi a letsomo a dirileng bonte jo le bo bonang jo bo hanujo jo e leng gore re ntse re sena jone before letsomo re ntse re na le setshahela se re sa bolo go nna re se bewa be re sa itse gore ka se dirisa eng tota toro ya rona ke gore molao kakanyetso ko parlamente yone ya UK o ska wa heta mme bile gongwe ba lebelle thata mabaka a mantsi a dirang gore bothokwa ja matshelo a batho le gore letsomo le thabolla ya matshelo a batho ba se ka ba focusa thata mo kganyeng we hela gongwe ya ba ibata ya conservation gongwe kana bo photographing.
Human wildlife conflict has been a thorn in villages like Sepako, Mangotaye and Maposa, and the community welcomed the government's consultations on the lifting of hunting ban imposed in 2014.
Le re thusa go hokotsa dipalo tse di go godimo tsa diphologolo mme ebile tumelo ya me ke gore ga di ntse di hulwa jang di a sia ebile di hella di itse gore ga utswa monko wa motho thobolo e teng
mme rona mo Mangotaye nna re tsere tshwetso ga gore di hokotswe re neela di-trust tsa rona di-quotara tsa gore e nne lone letsomo le re ka ro tsomang ka di-quotara
bone ba di-trust go na le madi a ba nela motse mme madi a re a kgaogantse ka dijarata tsote go ya ka dijarata tse di teng mo metseng mme se re dumela gore se kgonne go thusa matshelo a batho ka gore ba kgonne go reka dijo bangwe ba kgonne go duelela bana ba bone ko sekolong.
Despite efforts made, some are still recovering from the trauma and physical injuries caused by animal attacks.
Le gompieno kwano ga ke ikutlwe le ha le gopola me le robegile le ntse yana le ha ntule botobo gompieno ga gona sepe se nka se berekang.
Nna ke dumetse Paulos ke ngwana ga Isaac Tshwane wa ngwagono wa go rata bolawe ke to ga bona ke le ha yana ha ke ikutlwe sente maloba ile a taitsena mo jerete ya mito
kana ke ra gore se di gorogile ga ke bua yana gore gore jaaka Sepako ngwa gona sena metsi gore gore kgwedi yone se mla April eta bore le mo mathate ebile a ne go te ke rona ba re laolang ne re le tsomela ko le simolela gompieno gore di kgone boela morago.
As the bill to ban imports of trophies to the UK will be debated this coming Friday, affected communities are calling for the international organizations to take into consideration the threats of increased wild animals on their lives. Bethany Mantu, BTV News, Malta.
Now, following the budget speech allocation by Minister of Finance Ms. Peggy Serame last month, Chobe District Council held a special full council meeting to inform councillors of the allocation for the district for the 2024-2025 financial year. Kialeboga Eole reports.
When addressing councillors, Chairperson of the Finance and Works Committee says the recurrent budget shows an increase of 16% as compared to the 2023-2024 financial year. The development budget also saw an increase of 15% from the previous financial year.
I therefore submit before you the Chobe District Council approved recurrent budget for the year 2024-25 amounting to 106,197,345 pula, and the development budget of 30,546,621 pula 80 tebe for your approval.
Some councillors say they are happy with how the funds have been apportioned.
Ko khaulong ya me se ke se itumellang ke gore at least ke kgonne go bona 5 million mo teng ga 13 yo 2.5 million wa go dira tsela ko Satau e ralla motse wa Satau. Same applies to Koparakarungu. Ke kgonne go bona 2.5 million yo mongwe o ile gore jana wa go helletsa tsela ya tshitso za matako.
However, other councillors expressed their concern regarding some projects which have been excluded in the budget allocation.
Khopo ya metsi a dipula ga ya akaretswa ga rena di culvert mo kgaolo ya rona mme kana di culvert tsone tse ke tsone tse di thusang thata gore metsi a se ka tsenela batho mo mantung.
Tsela di baakangwe ka gore tse dingwe some residents ko Kachika ko Kavimba le ko Mabele ga bana access into their own plots because pula di setse di epile di trenches tse di tsena mo dijarate tsa bone.
We need ditsela tsa rona gore di paviwe bo mo Kgapamadi ko Plateau bo Lesoma jalo as you know our topography ga ya nna sente and other areas including Boka Chica bo Panamatenga ko gona le seloko teng.
Mele ha go ntse yalo kgaolo ya mo national budget ne ile ko parliament clinic ya rona ile gore mo process yone ite has been allocated for ke tsa gore ta simolla go irwa mo financial year yone.
Implementing departments have been advised to guard against project cost overruns and have been urged to make sure that most of these funds benefit the local communities. BTV News, Asani.
Now, in our last story, the media continues to make strides in advocating for dissemination of information about government policies, programs, and many other initiatives in a variety of formats which have a huge impact on society at large. This was said by the Assistant Minister for State President Ms. Boitumelo Kgofamodimo at the inaugural Mesa Botswana Golf Day in Gaborone. Mojadi Mukibelo reports.
The media industry in Botswana is experiencing growth. Therefore, MISA Botswana has been at the forefront of these changes, working tirelessly to ensure that the media remains independent and professional. However, like many other non-profit making organizations, MISA Botswana faces challenges in securing sustainable funding to fulfill its objectives, hence hosting its first ever MISA Botswana Golf Day to connect with its potential sponsors.
By coming together to support this event, we can help ensure that MISA Botswana has the resources it needs to continue its vital work. There is no denying the importance of the media in modern life. The media's capacity to disseminate information about government policies, programs, and many other initiatives in a variety of formats has a huge developmental impact on societies and individuals.
MISA Botswana has applauded the government of Botswana and other stakeholders for their unending support.
When the current MISA Botswana Board of Trustees came to office in January 2023, we made a pledge to our members to not only revive the organization, but to ensure that we pick the advocacy baton. We also pledged to work with all stakeholders, being government and the private sector. Hence, we are here today. Isn't it a beautiful day? To run an organization like MISA Botswana, which is an advocacy institution, we need support from government sector and active private sector. So thank you very much, private sector.
These potential sponsors have the eager to carry on MISA Botswana's mandate to its full potential.
We partnered with MISA to ensure that we grow the organization together. Our media partners, MISA is a very key stakeholder, not only to Bona Life, but to the country as a whole.
Protea Hotel by Marriott is to say we want to support the council need, the council whether it's bad or good.
The first ever MISA Botswana Golf Day is said to be an annual event that will continue to attract more potential sponsors that will drive the organization's desire to have a huge developmental impact among societies. Mojadi Mukibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Well, it is now time to make way for the sports news with Joseho Nkwe, who's on standby.
Let me thank you, Khomutsego, and greetings to you all. As she has already mentioned, I'm Khosronkwe, bringing to you in context the sports news. And with that, let's get straight into it and start with the top leading story. UB Renos are this year's Rugby Knockout Cup champions after defeating heavyweights Gaborone Hawks at 10-7 in their own backyard on Saturday. Ryan Kawanyani has more.
It was Rhinos who took the game to Hawks right from the start, registering a try and a conversion in the first half to take the game into halftime break with a 7-0 lead over the favourites. In the second half, Rhinos got a penalty after a good passage of play, making a clear statement as they took a 10-0 lead over the home side. Hawks, however, did not take this lying down as they recorded a try and a conversion, making it 10-7, but that was too little too late as the referee blew the final whistle. This then meant that Rhinos were crowned the champions of the Knockout Cup with a 10-7 score line.
My boys did well. Team A has been dominating the rugby. So we had a plan and it worked. In some cases, first half we played very well, we defended very well, and then we kick into spaces, which is work for us very well. We work on our defense. We know that they have good ball carriers, so the past week we were working very hard more defensing and to shift. We know that quick shifting the ball wide, so we wanted to press them and shift. And first half we did well. Second half, yes, and we make some subs second half, trying to slow the game down.
Good game. They stood up to the challenge. The better team won today, but it's rugby. You win some, you lose some, and it's a final. It's going to be tense. Everyone brings it on the final. Everyone who comes to play a final, they come to play a final. A few errors with my boys. We didn't execute. There's quite a lot of times we're playing in their 22. We knocked on a few balls that we're supposed to score. So yeah, our errors let us down today, but I'll work on it. We'll work on it as we move on forward.
On the ladies' side, BDF were crowned the champions after beating UB Rhinos 10-5 in another mouth-watering encounter. The Knockout Cup comes just a few days before the start of the National Rugby League. Ryan Khengonyane, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
In the only Botswana Premier League game played yesterday at VTM Arena, Holy Ghost edged out BDF 11 by 2-0 to move to the 13th place with 17 points. The 2 goals were scored by Denver Meyer and Patrick Kaunda in the first half of the game.
Yeah, I think BDF is playing with a power play, second ball, so we managed to close BDF ka go ina di ball very tshware very nna mo comfortable mo go tsone. If we have a depth more midfielding, that's why no ka khona BDF, but if you want to, he's going to punish you. So the best way is to put the ball down. That's why I bring in Bo Brendan, Sandy, Diabate and the poster, because I know that those are the guys who play ball down there, so that we attack with the left back and Kaunda experience Kaunda very kids up front even to defend.
I don't know. Holy Ghost still got the same pattern, same way. Free kick, first goal, second goal, last, same. And Hasiso serring Harabu Akason because we knew Banale, these players Barba foul in most cases because Roberto Kepelo, player telling what they would. But first because they will dribble, and we've said it. Gap steady within the area will cost us. But of course, we are dull. BDF 11, we are dull.
And now in a First Division South League game played at River Plate grounds on Saturday, Muchudi Santa Chiefs defeated City Pola by 2-0 to claim 3 points and bragging rights in the Gauteng Region Derby. Budulo Mkhorosi has more details of the game.
City Pola came into this encounter after 3-0 win over Extension Gunners, while Muchudi Santa Chiefs played to a 0-0 draw with Mogodisane Fighters. In the first few minutes of the game, both teams were cautious, reverting 2 high balls. Center Chiefs, however, found the rhythm on the half-hour mark and started putting City Pola defense under pressure. They had a chance to take the lead, but Onemo Ketsane fluffed the opportunity. City Pola, however, did not take this lying down, but fought tooth and nail for a goal opportunity. In the second half, Maparangwe came back well organized, playing possession football, visiting City Pola's 18 yards area frequently, and found the opener 10 minutes into the second half through legend Munyaki. Center Chiefs continued to pile pressure on City Pola, searching for a second goal. An opening presented itself for Mahos, but Onemo Ketsane attempt was defeated by the City Pola goalkeeper. Maparanko finally got their second goal through Coach Matlala from a counter-attack on the 59 minutes.
We followed suit. We went to their trap. We also tried to hit long balls. We tried to advise them half time. In second half, I thought we become better team. The first division football, it has got only one reward, which is promotion to Premier League. Which team, all the 12 teams, they need to win the league to go to Premier League. More so, especially us. We have been 7 years in the dusty ground. We really need to try and win the league.
Centre Chiefs had a plan, tactically, which was picking the second ball behind our defensive midfielders, and it worked well for them. But when we tried to respond, I think they were well prepared today compared to the Centre Chiefs, which we saw playing against the BOTSWANA fighters. Remember, this is our first loss this year. Remember, this is the first time we came out of the ground without a goal. So I think the boys will regroup, get back to our style, and try to move on.
Centre Chiefs' win leaves them in position 4 in the BOTSWANA South First Division log standings, while City Polar remains in position 2. Budula Mogoros, BTV Sport, River Plate Grounds.
And now into women football. In the Gaborone City Regional Football Association Division 1 Ladies League, Big Sisters continued their poor run as they registered their 8th loss of the season. Sisters lost by 2-0 against the Mazoti in a week 9 match played at Likidi Football Center this morning. Kagiso Molelekwa has more.
Both teams started the game on a snail pace due to the scorching heat, but it was Mazoti who had an upper hand as they managed to breach the Big Stars defense for a 7th-minute opener through California Sarego. After Sarego's goal, both teams continued on a low tempo to take the game to recess, with Mazoti leading 1-0. After the halftime break, Mazoti continued to show character and found the back of the net 7 minutes into half as California Sarego returned to hunt Big Sisters after another defensive error. Sarego's second and final goal of the day handed coach Erika Mbrutan's side their 4th win of the season.
We didn't respond. If you don't respond in football, they will beat you. So we didn't respond at all. At the back, in the middle, up front, we didn't respond at all. Even though we had two chances, but we couldn't do anything, or we couldn't respond or react well enough, or the way we're supposed to react. So it was a very, very dull game for us.
It was a good game, even though we had some challenges against smaller, but I can say the game was good. At least we get 2 points, 2 goals, 3 points. These 3 points. Last game we drew against the UB Kicks and we didn't play a good game. Can say the players don't need instructions. Can rebuy hakating. So if we can try steering the ball down, it's a mahasi. And we needed 3 points.
The week 9 results left Mazoti still on position 4 with 13 points on the log standings from 9 games in which they lost 3 and drew 1, while Big Sisters on the other hand remain rooted at the bottom of standings with only 1 point from 9 games from which they lost 8 and drew 1. Kariso Molelekwa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
And the game between Big Sisters as well as Mazoti was played yesterday, not today as we mentioned. Apologies about that. Now moving on, Talente Pelonyame had a day to remember as he scooped 2 gold medals at the first Botswana Judo Federation tournament. The tournament, organized in partnership with the Botswana National Sport Commission, was held here in Gaborone on Saturday, where Pelonyame won all his matches. Kagiso Molelekwa continues.
Pelonyame, who is also a national team player, won his first gold medal after winning all his 2 matches in the junior category. He went on to win the second gold medal with 6 wins in as many games in the senior category.
I'm feeling okay, but at the moment I'm going to work hard to get more gold to Botswana. Make work hard every day, get train. Keep on getting every competition here.
In the senior category, national team captain Tres Tsile walked home with gold after winning his 2 matches in another senior category. In the cadet under 55 kg category, Jeff David scored position 1 after winning all his 5 matches.
All I can say is thanks to all my coaches for all the motivation and the encouragement and the hard work and the every week training I've been peeling.
In the ladies category, Helena Mutenda won the senior under 48 kg category with 3 wins in 3 matches. Meanwhile, Pine Moro Sele also won a gold medal in the cadet category.
I wasn't in a rush, but for trainer, I want to get trainer. Even though I had some issues, but yeah, make a con. So, Tatanik is more no se thata gape no se motlhofo no se a mehela mara hela ke itumela gore ke kgone. It took a lot of dedication, a lot of training. Ever since this year started, I've been training a lot so that I'm able to get here and able to achieve whatever I achieved today. She was a very tough opponent. She knew what to do in order to prevent me from attacking. But at the end of the day, I was able to find a way through her and I won.
The tournament, which is the first of the year for Botswana Judo Federation, was graced by 120 athletes from various clubs across the country. It was also used as a Rwanda Youth Development Program to help in nurturing talent from the grassroots. Kariso Molelekwa, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from In Context, the sports desk. Let's meet later on at 5 p.m. for Botswana News. And with that, have a blessed afternoon. And of course, let's continue on rallying behind the hashtag BW Mindset Change. It is very, very vital. With that, Khomotseho is on standby to continue with In Context here on BTV News channel, #Ikanyarona.
Coming up next on Conversation with Africa. When we speak to informal women cross-border traders, there's still a challenge when it comes to literacy.
We need more information and more